So, hello guys, and we are back as promised. And yeah, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game again. If you cannot win, you don't lose. If you can't win, you don't lose. I'd like to get your opinion on everything. If everything is okay, so if you are watching us, and I know the regular sound checker, so you can just leave a comment and actually say if everything is okay. So Chelsea 1-1 versus Arsenal. Wow, wow, wow. I choose to take the positives first. First of all, I want to talk about the positives. Chelsea were facing one of the toughest teams in Europe. Oh my god. And actually, I was super excited for this game because I thought that Chelsea would have done something in this game, and actually, I'm right because Chelsea did something great, and we are seeing three things. We are seeing three things with regards to the team, with regards to the manager, and with regards to the club. Now, I want to talk about the players. The lineup was spot on, though I think in the initial phases of the game, Esteva was a bit quiet during the game, but he had those one or two chances. But I thought that towards the red card, we were actually growing into the game. We were starting to get the rhythm of the game. And in my opinion, if we probably don't get a red card, we probably bring Cole Palmer in the second half and maybe something beautiful happens in the game. So if you cannot win a football match, don't lose. So I'll take this as a point gained. I will not blame the conceding the goal because I understand why Cucurella couldn't go hard on Saka. Because if he went so hard on Saka, probably he would have conceded a penalty, got a second yellow card, and actually have us in 9 men. So I really have to give some shout out to some players. The first player I will give a shout out to was Enzo Fernandez. Oh my God. Enzo Fernandez has been that player who has been covering most grounds for Chelsea. I know Christian is super happy about his performance because Enzo has been that player who's constantly covering ground, who's constantly looking to hunt the ball. And he did that. Remember, the front line was changed. It was Enzo who remained on the pitch with Neto. Second of all, I want to be very, very pleased with Cucurella after getting a yellow card earlier on, taking up one of the best wingers in the Premier League, and you are able to contain him and you are able to prevent yourself from getting a red card was also quite superb. And somebody, Saxphony is saying that we deserved a win. I'm sick of red cards in big games. Yeah. I know if we didn't get that red card, we were beating these people. These people were there for the taking. They were there for the taking. You could see they were there for the taking. And Arsenal, Declan Rice, they brought in Odegaard, and the team was solid. I think Robert Sanchez did well. Oh my God. If probably it's Kepa or any other goalkeeper or Jorgensen, we probably concede 2 goals. So Sanchez helped us today. He made some crucial saves. Even the last save that actually gives Gyökeres the yellow card, I think Sanchez actually behaved well. He was not scared. He stepped out. He was like, if he steps on me, then he gets a red card. But at least, I've helped the team. Finally, we got a Chelsea fan who dedicates videos to tactics in details. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. They got lucky. If not for the red card, we would have won. Yeah, if not for the red card, I 100% believe we could have won this match. I believe so. We were so good. Even before the red card, we were starting to impose ourselves on the game. And I was like, earlier on you were seeing Chelsea playing, but there was that a bit of respect that they were showing Arsenal. You could see Chelsea somehow a bit scared of Arsenal, but the more the game grew and towards that 30th minute, you started to see us creating those combination plays. You started to see us getting the ball and spraying the ball to Estevao. You started to see Gusto making those underlapping runs. And you started to see Reece James come into the game. And today, I have to say it, Reece James has put up a captain's performance. That today is what we call a captain's performance. Arsenal fans were talking shit all week. They got humbled and are not talking much after the game. Yeah, they're not talking much after the game because according to Arsenal fans, those are 2 points dropped. They were the ones. Chelsea were there. Chelsea were 10 men. They brought in Odegaard. They brought in Gyökeres. They brought in Noni. They brought in everyone. But they were unable to actually score. Why were they unable to actually score? Because Chelsea was so good in the way they look to organize themselves. Also, another thing that I have to point out was that I saw during a set play, I saw Maresca actually telling Liam Delap, Pedro Neto, and Garnacho to actually stay forward. So Maresca chose to have his forwards staying high so that if Arsenal commit more players in attacking the set piece, then Chelsea, if they win the set piece, they can go and attack Arsenal. I think that was brilliant because now it made players like Rice, it made Arsenal leave one centre back behind, and Arsenal didn't have to commit so many players in defending the set piece. And I think that's a blueprint that many teams can do. I also saw during the long throw, I think was it the Burnley game or the game before that, Maresca asked his players to actually push more players. He asked push more attackers forward so that if they attempt this set piece throw, we don't have to try to stop it. No, let us have players forward. Those who are there will try. If we concede, no problem. I think it's a huge risk, but it's a huge reward method. I think that is one method that Maresca is coming in. Reference Taylor conditioned the match for us because he had sent off some Arsenal players. I think today I don't want to. Today I don't want to go into the referee. I think the referee did his job. I think even the referee did not want to give Caicedo that red card. It's Caicedo who lied down. I think Caicedo wanted to pretend that he was hurt so that probably the Merino could get up. But you know the way Arsenal are. Arsenal are one shameless club. They can never allow something like that to go by. I don't like that club. Maresca was yelling at Liam to stick to his man. Not sure if you caught that. Yeah, you see, Liam Delap, that's what I'm saying. As much as Delap came on, I thought João Pedro did much more when he was on the pitch than Delap. João Pedro's link-up play was better. Delap, again, he's like Bambi on ice when the ball is played to his feet. It's not so great with the ball at his feet sometimes. So he gets the ball, he's bouncing it off, he's attempting passes. But I liked the shot that he actually attempted. All the neutrals claimed that we were playing against the best team in the world. We made them look like kids. This team is going to dominate for years. Yeah. A lot of people had actually ruled that Chelsea were going to lose. And Chelsea played for close to more than 60 minutes with a man down against one of the best teams in Europe. This is a team that destroyed Bayern Munich. This is a team that is top of the Premier League table. And Chelsea managed to contain them. Chelsea went band for band with them. Maresca will win a trophy this season, hopefully. Yeah, he was better than Pedro. Referee Taylor, yeah, I think I've talked about that. So when we look at when you look at the holistic point of view, that is the Premier League table. I think that Chelsea now have dropped to third, which I believe, in my opinion, I've said this is a fair result. This is one thing that I've said about this game, that this is a fair result. So Chelsea have dropped to third, and to third, they are still maintained the points that they had with Arsenal, which were just 6 points. I don't think that Arsenal are going to run away from it, because also Arsenal have these tendencies of dropping points to lower teams. So Chelsea might have given a blueprint where lower teams can set up low blocks to actually stop Arsenal from scoring goals. And also in that first 30 minutes, teams might have a blueprint on how to press Arsenal aggressively. I mean, come on, red card changed everything. We could have seen Cole Palmer and Estevao play together. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this is the problem that Chelsea have had. Whenever we have faced big teams and we've had an opportunity to actually take these teams forward, we've always done the mess of getting a red card. We've always done that. We are a bit so rash. I think we are so rash. We play with a lot of pressure. And when I talk about Caicedo, I don't want to hammer Caicedo, because let's just all be honest here, those who are watching, is that Caicedo has bailed us out. So he can get off this one. But with the thing about Caicedo is that Caicedo has always been an accident in waiting. That is one thing we have to say. Caicedo has always been an accident with waiting. Sometimes he goes onto those tackles, all those rush, so rash that he can actually even injure himself. So I think those are some of the things that Caicedo needs to try and remove from his game. João Pedro has to improve and be faster in thinking. Yeah, I think João Pedro had the opportunity. That time he won the ball off Hincampe. He shouldn't Caicedo, Pedro Neto, not Pedro Neto, João Pedro shouldn't have gone to have the first touch, the second touch. No, when you win the ball off the center back, immediately you have a strong shot. Let Raya save that shot. But most probably, João Pedro would have scored that goal. You score that goal, then Chalobah comes and scores this goal. We are celebrating. Maybe if João Pedro scores that goal, we probably don't even have a red card because we don't have a lot of pressure in the game. Yeah, it was great before the red card. It's Arsenal fans stay warned. They really felt lucky with the red. Yeah, Arsenal fans felt lucky. I think Chelsea gave Arsenal a game. They gave them a game because even when you look at the statistics, I just want to look at the statistics of the game. I don't think Chelsea just sat off Arsenal. No. Chelsea tried to go toe-to-toe with Arsenal, even when Chelsea did not have possession. That's why you're seeing Chelsea are having close to 40% of the ball. So there's a time when Chelsea got the ball and they tried to work with the ball. They tried to play the ball. They tried to also create some kind of issues for Arsenal. Anthony Taylor likes punishing Chelsea with cards. It could have been no. I don't want to have this referee agenda. In fact, he looked away. When he saw that tackle that Caicedo had, he looked away. If he wanted to give Chelsea a red card, he would have not even waited. He wouldn't have waited for the VAR. He would just go and flash out a red card to Caicedo immediately. So I think he has been very fair. You know, when he has done great, it's good to also appreciate that the referee did great. I just think that Maresca managed the game quite well. In the first half, immediately Chelsea go a man down. We did not see the rashness from Maresca. We did not see him taking off Estevao, putting in Santos. No. He was like, let us manage the first half with our attackers. He didn't alter anything. He just told Fernandes, drop deep and help Chris James. Let the front three remain there. So we moved into what we call a 4-2-3. We didn't have a striker, so we chose not to have a striker. And we were able to manage the game. We were able to manage the game in the first 45 minutes. Then in the second half, he decided to take off Estevao, which I actually wanted. I thought that immediately we went 10 men down. I think Estevao is not that player. Estevao is not that player who will track back, who will run, who will look to help the defense. I saw it. I saw Calafiori just getting the ball and walking past Estevao, and Estevao is not applying pressure. You see, your team is a goal down, so you're supposed to make runs. So I think I saw that laxity, and I was like, Maresca, you need to make that change, and he made that change, and he brought in Garnacho, moved Neto to the right, and once he moved Neto to the right, then Neto became a threat because Neto kept on receiving the ball and making runs, and that is why I've always said. When you go a man down, do not always look to bring defensive players. No, always look to bring in attacking players. Because when you have attacking players, you're always giving the opposition the idea that you are in the game. You are also looking to score the goal. And with that, Chelsea managed to constantly give Arsenal defenders something to think about, knowing very well that Pedro Neto can be making runs, Garnacho can be making runs. João Pedro is also a problem. When Liam Delap came, now it became so problematic because Liam Delap is that chaotic number 9. But still great defending by our players. Fofana has been superb. He's defending, the way he steps out, the way he cleared the ball, the way he carries the ball. It's been good. I've also been so happy with Chalobah. And again, what we considered again was the far post. Oh my God, the far post. I think if Rhys James is probably there, Merino does not score that goal. You see, that is one weakness that Gusto has. Gusto is not so great in defending the far post. He's, I think, because of his small nature and his weak physicality, he's not that right back who's going to defend the far post well. So I think that ball from Saka was great, but I think Cucurella should have maintained his gravity and tried to stop Saka. But I do understand it was inside the box, slight contact. You know, the way Saka likes to exaggerate, he'll probably fall himself down, get a penalty, and have Cucurella sent off. So I will not blame Cucurella for his handling of that goal. Enzo Fernandez was really good at fight. Enzo Fernandez is a fighter. He is a fighter. He has played 3 games. He played against Barca. He played against Burnley. He played today, and he put in the work. Now we really have to rotate. We really have to rotate. Reece James has outstretched himself. Reece James played for the English team. He played with Burnley. He played in the Barcelona game. He played today. And actually, Reece James today had the man of the match performance, in my opinion. Reece James had the man of the match performance. That was a captain's performance. I've said it. Reece James gave us a captain's performance. So I'm super happy with the way Reece James was able to handle that game. He even at some point he was playing as the only midfielder, and he kept on running, winning the ball, and I was so happy. I'm so happy with the team. I'm so happy with the team. Imagine getting a red card. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. And then you are able to play the next 60 minutes amongst the league leaders, the team that is on form, even in the Champions League, and you're able to keep them at bay. Eze is on the pitch, Saka is on the pitch, Noni is on the pitch, Odegaard is on the pitch. They bring in Gyökeres, they have so many attacking players, but you are able to keep them at bay. That was a superb performance. Palma and Santos. Yeah, Palma and Santos need to start the next game. I think the next game should be Santos and Palma. I really don't know, because Enzo Fernandez has also played so many games, so we'll need to heavily rotate that game. I think Benoit will probably start that game, because I don't think let's just be honest, Fofana has served us in these 3 games. So Fofana went toe-to-toe, Fofana has played in the Champions League and this weekend. So, yeah. But I think Fofana also played against Burnley. No, Tosin played. So, yeah. So, we can see the return of Benoit and Chalobah in that back line. Cucurella, I don't know. Chelsea players today, they have made very many unnecessary tackles. Cuckoo and Caicedo, the early yellow card for Cuckoo has limited him throughout the game. Yeah, I thought that was so rash. I think sometimes it's the hype. You locked in Yamal, so you want to lock in. I've always said that if you are a defender and you go with an opposition player, and this opposition player is already facing back to goal and is looking to pass the ball back, you don't have to tackle him. No, you don't have to tackle him. Let him pass the ball back. If he wanted to come and receive the ball and you are on him, and then when you're on him, he wants to pass the ball back, let him pass the ball back. Let him go back. He's facing away from goal. You don't have to do anything. Merino was not a threat there. I don't know. I don't understand why Caicedo had to rush in that manner. Caicedo's I think this is those things that we call youth naivety. So he's a young player, so he wants to show the way he is able to play, and this Rice Caicedo debate. And that's why I said our players, Chelsea players, need to stay away from the media. The English media will always look to hype up Chelsea players, put in pressure on them so that they can crumble. So when they're saying this game is between Caicedo and Rice, you say this is not a game between Caicedo and Rice. This is a game between Chelsea and Arsenal. As we're just looking to play our football. So I think that is where the issue is. Comparing this 10-man side versus Manu, you can honestly say the mentality was there. Yeah, the mentality was different. I think after those red cards, I think I'm also coming to say that I am happy that they have gotten something from this game, because now they know how to play with 10 men. And I've always said every obstacle for this team is a learning experience. Is a learning experience. So now they know how to play with 10 men, because the first 2 times they got a 10 men, they were unable to play against them. They were unable. It was clear they were unable to do it. But this game has showed that they can play with 10 men. In the Manchester United game, Maresca was rash with his substitutions. He was rash with the way he was introducing players, and it all became so chaotic. So I am really happy that I'm seeing this side of Chelsea. I'm seeing a side of Chelsea which is ready to actually do what it takes to actually get something from a game where they completely have no luck in doing so. So I'm really happy to engage with you in the comments section. So if you've noted something in the game, please tell me. So as we speak now, Manchester City are back in the title race. Manchester City have gained 2 points over Arsenal. So it is 5 points. So Pep is just 5 points. So if Arsenal lose one game, then the pressure is there. The pressure is there. So I'm super happy about that. So let me just hear what Christian has to say with regards to the game. And yeah. So hello, Christian. How are you?
Bonsoir, bonsoir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know. You're looking, but I'm speaking, but I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
No, okay. You had me worried, and you had me worried. You had me worried, like Arsenal had me worried as well. But that was, what was I saying before that game? There, that was that
mentality
game, which
mentality monster.
Mentality monster. That is a watershed. That game. You always remember that game. Apart from the Caicedo red card, but you remember that game because that is where you saw that this Chelsea team has matured. This Chelsea team has arrived. They were on the journey, on the way but they show that they are on the same level as Arsenal. Arsenal was the so-called super team, super boys, but the Chelsea boys, it's almost like they gate crashed that party ahead of time. And what I saw today was like, wow, mentality. This never, maybe even to the point there in the beginning of the game, there were maybe two. How can you put them? When you wind up the players, when you give them that motivation, when you give them that fire, maybe there was a bit too much fire. Maybe Maresca did too much of a motivation job with them. Because there were some wild challenges, some stupid yellow cards. And maybe they had to calm down a bit but that wildfire was because they were so afraid of Arsenal. They were so fearful, and you saw how they were sitting back, parked the bus, and then they realized this Arsenal team is not as good as the hype. And that's when you saw the courage. This courage started growing, and they dominated that game, even with 10 men. Even with 10 men, Chelsea was in control of that game. And of course, our good friend Gusto there in the corner, the cross there, sleeping as always. I'm sorry, but Gusto, defensively, Gusto is Gusto.
You see, when he's facing a winger defensively 1v1, he tries. Yeah. But when the ball is played to the far post, it's like he disappears. He becomes invincible. He was like, "Oh, you need me to defend the far post? Bye."
But he freezes like an ice block. Becomes like an ice block, and he doesn't know what to do. So he almost like becomes in a dilemma. Should I go here or should I go here? He doesn't actually know what to do. Sometimes that's how you notice he's not marking. He's in that space there where he's not marking anybody. He's not tackling anybody. Where he should have maybe gone towards somebody. and that is his dilemma. I don't know why he does that, but he's been otherwise very, very good in the last many games. But today, of course, we had a flashback, flashback to the gusto of of previous seasons and previous games where we wanted him out, but he has been very, very good but today, attacking wise, there was one cross there he put, was a horrible cross. You think,
Ah, I was I was super disappointed. I was like, if it is Rhys James, that is an automatic chance. If
yes,
that is Rhys James, that is a chance. It's either the centre backs are getting it or Delap is heading it at the back of the net. That is what I
yes.
said. But Gusto, I was like, even if you can't make that cross there, just carry the ball forward and attempt a cutback.
Or even a shot,
Get a
even a
corner.
shot,
Yeah,
even a shot.
even a shot. Yeah, even a
Nico,
shot.
because
Yeah,
the goalkeeper is more likely going to the ricochet. The goalkeeper is not going to catch the ball. He's going to parry the ball one way,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you. But by the way, that game I don't understand why João Pedro was playing. He should have played Delap from the beginning because you needed that physical, strong centre forward in that game. The one who could hold up the ball. João Pedro.
You wanted the traditional.
There you go. But that game was very traditional. You look at that game; it was a very traditional, old school game.
Vintage Premier League, vintage. Yeah,
Exactly.
vintage.
Tackles flying, and the proper derby. I watched last week Tottenham versus Arsenal. 4-1. That was not a derby. That was Tottenham. They laid down and died already after 10 minutes. It was no derby. There was no handbags. There was no fighting. There was no scratching. There was no elbows. No nothing. There was no fighting. And I say no physical fighting, but there was no fight in the game. Unlike today's game, these guys, they were not going to give a centimeter. They were clutching and crawling, and nobody was. This was just a proper old school derby game. And of course, young guys like yourself, you think, oh, but so there should have been more VAR, there should have been more penalties.
No. You see, I've watched the Premier League for a long time. I've watched Chelsea when the likes of Ballack and Lampard were playing. This game is the kind of game that can have Roy Keane smiling in the studio. Roy Keane can be like, this is a derby. Roy Keane will say, this is a derby.
Yeah, but
you're not there to smile and hug each other the way Maguire was hugging Stones after the Manchester derby. Roy Keane, what are you laughing about? This is a derby. You'll hug each other in the national team. You don't do that crap in the derby.
No, exactly. And this is and for young people like you who got used to all this nice polished football, all this VAR, all this, just to look at somebody, they give a yellow card, all this very soft modern day stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But they probably watch this game and think, was this football? What was this? Where did this come from? And the ref, he set the tone at the beginning of the game, because a lot of those challenges at the beginning, they should have been yellow cards straight away, and then you wouldn't have had such a rough game. But he let it go. He let it go. He let them, go at it. And let's say, for example, you saw old Chalobah there. Somebody almost broke his face. But nope, it's Arsenal. We can't give a red card. It's not going to happen. There was other challenges there as well. On the goalkeeper there, you thought, that was but it's Arsenal. They're the top dogs. This is the bonus you get. This is the bonus you get from the refs for being number one in the league. You get these kind of bonuses.
But one thing I can say before I introduce Isaac. Isaac, have your camera on. We must see your reaction after the game. So before one thing I can say is that the referee didn't want to send anyone off. I thought he managed the game. He never wanted to do it, because I know if Anthony Taylor wanted to send someone off, he would have done it. In fact, he would have seen that foul that Caicedo made, and he would immediately reach for the red card. That one I know.
But Caicedo sent himself off, because that bullshit acting there. That is the wrong thing that he did. He should have woken up
and continued playing like nothing happened. You see,
Exactly, exactly.
this guy will just be sleeping, will be lying here, and the ref will call the medical team to come and check him up because
But
the game had continued, and then he was like,
he was behaving. You know
ah,
how he was. You know how he was behaving. He was behaving like the little boy who stole the sweets from in the pantry, who took the sweets from the jar, and his mother's caught him. But he's
yeah.
behaving. No, no, I didn't do anything. But he's guilty. He knows he's guilty. He knows he's done something bad. But he's trying to play the sympathy card. And there was no injury there. If you look at him, he didn't. Maybe, but he was humping when he left the pitch. But still, it was a guilty
I
man's
don't think
injury.
he was injured. I don't think he was injured. He wasn't
But
injured.
but we've
He
seen him.
just he just
Sorry.
pretended that way. He just
Mhm.
pretended that way, and then he just walked off the pitch like that so that it cannot look like he was misbehaving. But I don't think he was injured because he knew that tackle he made,
Oh,
that was a red card.
that
You know,
was.
as a player, you can know that. If this referee they check the
Yeah,
VAR
I'm
above,
finished.
they
I'm
know.
finished.
Yeah. Isaac, we have to see you. I want to see you, and I want to hear what you have to say.
Sorry. For this moment, you can't see me, but I can assure you that I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. Okay.
Oh, I want to tell you that do not lose hope. Those are just 2 games.
I
Just win
know.
the next game.
I
Yeah,
know.
win the next game. I think I'm
I'm not
happy with the team.
disappointed. I'm not
Yeah.
disappointed for the draw. No, I'm not disappointed. And at least Arsenal understand now that there is someone else
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
Premier
Yeah.
League who can stop them. And then I'm not sure that the other team who watched this game did not learn something how to stop Arsenal. I'm not sure. Maybe
Yeah.
they can have lack of good player to implement this system, but someone like Une Emery has learned something.
Yeah.
See,
Even
I'll,
the
I'll, I'll,
Newcastle
I'll
manager.
I'll tell you what they learned. They learned that this Arsenal was a damn good team. They were good. Let's not lie.
Yeah,
They were very good, very compact in midfield, very good defensively. Maybe not so good in attack. Bukayo Saka there didn't have a kick all game, but it is a good team. Let's not lie. Arsenal's a very very good team.
Yeah, there is a good team. Yes, I do agree, Christian. There was a good team. There was even a time early in the around minute 15 to around 20. I was like, oh, I was super excited, but it can go bad. I was like, okay, they are a strong team, but after before we just like around 5 to 7 minutes before we got that red card, I started to see us growing into the game. And I think we might give teams the blueprint to beat Arsenal, not after the red card, no, but before the red card. Because
yes.
what you notice is that we have shown teams that for you to beat this Arsenal team, you must outwork them.
There you
You
Yes.
must
go.
outwork them.
Hallelujah. 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 Well
And
said. Well
Chelsea
said.
outworked them. They chased the ball. I think that is what also made Chelsea to be so rash, because we chased the ball, we hunted the ball, we were on their faces. We didn't give them time to settle in the game. We were we and even when they kept on doing that rotation with Saka coming into that number 9 and Eze, our centre backs, you could see them talk. You get him here. When he crosses into this zone, you see Chalobah telling Caicedo, have him. Let me go back to my zone and protect my zone over there. So there was that communication. So teams can learn that for you to beat this Arsenal team, you have to be spot on. You have to outwork them. You have to outrun them. You have to outpress them. And when you don't have the ball, you have to close those spaces. You
There
have to
you
close those spaces.
there
I
you
think
go.
that is what they can. That is what they can learn, especially after we got a red card. Because no matter, and then you also choose which players to give the ball. If Rice has the ball, you don't allow Rice to have the ball because he's going to either whip in across or play a ball over the top or play a penetrative pass. No, when he has the ball, have somebody on him. Thank you, Melon. I think Melon has he has really said thank you again. Covered. Thank you for the compliment there. So that is also one thing that I have said. So I'm sharing a link. You can join Melon and your friend over there. So I think that is the blueprint that he gave. You need to cover those
This is
spaces.
what I said to you before the game. You have to stress Arsenal all over the pitch. Do not give them time to calm down and to get into the rhythm. Because if they get into the rhythm like a surgeon, they will dice and slice you, slice and dice you. And they didn't get that chance. See, Bukayo, we didn't see him. Eze, I didn't even know Eze was playing. He did nothing. Though I'm not surprised he got substituted. But they're not unbeatable. At the end of the day, they're only humans. They're not robots, AI robots or whatever. They're just human beings, and they're not unplayable. But you have to have courage. You have to have faith in yourself and your belief. And an old school manager. We don't have many English managers in the Premier League. Do we have any left? I'm not sure. But one of those old school managers, Sam Allardyce, right? Sean Dyche, and the Everton guy. What's his name? Whatever.
David Moyes.
David Moyes, that kind of old school manager, ones with get stuck in type there. They can give Arsenal a run for their money, but these new Spanish managers and what have you, the ones who like to play the shiny toy football, Arsenal will tear them a new butthole, and that is the difference. But otherwise, it's a very, very good team. This Arsenal team. Well, let's not lie.
We had cut off Isaac. We had cut
No,
you
no,
off.
no.
So
I'm there. I'm listening. I'm just.
Yeah. Okay, no
also
worries. Melon.
But what Christian said, yes, of course, we've just show Arsenal that we are there. We were not we showed their weakness also. In the first half, I even saw the team of Arsenal broken in two parts: the strikers and the defender. The midfield was so open before Caicedo to be sent off. The midfield was so open. Eze didn't even see how to be his position on that game on the pitch. We didn't see Eze, so we showed their weakness. And for me, I'm like, it's okay. Now we should just ensure we win all our other games. I know that this Arsenal is going to drop points somewhere.
Yeah. And also, one thing you've said about the midfield, there was a time in the first half when we started to control the game where we constantly found Gusto in between the lines. There was constantly a time when Gusto kept on receiving that ball in space. Nobody was with him. I think Estevao had held his width. Neto had held his width. João Pedro was up front. And Arsenal had actually pressed with all their midfielders, and Gusto left the right back slot and moved into midfield. So we started to see Sanchez playing that ball, and Gusto kept on receiving that ball in space, and then he will turn and then play the ball to Estevao. And I think if we don't get a red card, I think that at that point when Gusto started getting that ball, I think there is where we will have started to cause Arsenal problems. So I'd like to introduce Melon to probably say something about the game and give his honest thoughts. Hello, are you able to get us?
Oh, hello. My mic was muted. I'm a professional. That was a disappointing game. I predicted a 2-0 win. Obviously, it ended 1-1. If you ignore the red card, I think the game plan was obvious. To just press and just work and go. And I feel like we've seen another level of Reece James today, because he was my man of the match. Reece James. To lose Caicedo in the middle and still look that convincing out of position It's hard to believe he's a right back at times, simply because of the quality of the player. He gets the ball, drives with the ball, maybe gets past 2 Arsenal players and just pings the ball with sublime weight and accuracy. It's ridiculous. Like I was lost for words watching him in the middle of the pitch. Just stupidly good. The game overall, I feel like we need to see a little bit more from Delap. Personally, he comes off the bench. Mark Gee wasn't on the bench. I'm not sure exactly why, but Delap comes off the bench. Of course, it's quite difficult when managing a game with 10 men, with red card. But Delap came on. I wanted to just see that little bit more from him, that little bit more. But I thought he was okay. Holding up the ball at times was pretty good. He had maybe one shot, and it just wasn't that great. It was just like a meh performance from him. The main takeaway is just the impact off the bench. I feel like we need to have a little bit more emphasis on the quality on the bench, because the players on the bench aren't just there to travel and pick up their money every Friday. They're there to impact games, and we start with Neto and Esteval. We've got Palmer, who's, I think, half-time, maybe he could have, maybe he couldn't have played. I think I heard something on commentary. But apart from that, there isn't really much there that we can bring on that would genuinely change the shape of the game. So I'm quite disappointed with those that did come on.
Okay, yeah. Yes, but do you think that looking at the kind of animal that was in front of Chelsea, do you think that the subs did the bare minimum, which is defend, which is run, which is, I know probably Garnacho might have not, but I saw Garnacho receiving the ball in tight spaces, wriggling himself out and retaining possession for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Which I expected that he probably can play a clumsy pass and we are in trouble, but he retained the ball well, passed the ball backward, or drew a foul. So when I look at it, I'm like, I'm saying like this team, with every mistake, they are maturing. It's not like when they make a mistake, they are repeating it. Even Maresca, Isaac, and Christian and myself were angry with him when he got those red cards, and you saw the way he was rushed to make substitutions, to alter his structure. You saw today he was like, let's finish the first half and see what happens.
Yeah.
Then in the second half, he's like, don't make many changes. No. He just makes one change. And you could understand that he wanted to bring in Garnacho because of his pace. Because when you have Garnacho and Neto with their pace, you're constantly giving Arsenal fullbacks something to think about. They don't have to go forward, knowing very well that if Chelsea win that ball, then it's a quick transition. So I'm not so much disappointed. Actually, I'm taking this as a learning lesson. It's a learning lesson that will help Chelsea sometime in the season when they probably get a red card in a defining moment. They will probably even be in a position where they can win a match with a red card.
Yeah, I agree with you. I felt like the game was managed quite well by Maresca. It's a difficult one to manage, especially when you're looking at the quality of the opponent. But it is what it is. We get a point. I feel like with the way the game went, there was probably going to be like another goal. If it was probably about 10, 20 minutes added time for some whatever reason, there probably would have been another goal from either one of the teams. So it shows the intent that when we went down to 10 men, we still kept going. We still had the same sort of game plan, the same mission, and everyone sort of understood what they was trying to do. So I was really impressed with the way that Maresca went about the game. But it's Arsenal, you're always going to want to win against them. So the result, I'd say, is quite disappointing. But
if it had gone 10 more minutes, Arsenal would have scored. Chelsea were tired. You could see at the end they were spent. There was nothing left. Their tanks were empty. And I think 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, it had to been Fergie time or something like that. Chelsea would have conceded a goal. They just looked, the legs were gone. So I don't know, the recuperation for the next game will be very vital. Some players are going to need a rest for. And what is the status of Lavia? Is this opportunity to come back, or do we go to Andres Santos with Caicedo
Forget
now
about
suspended? Which
Forget
one?
about
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, I saw Esugo was back in training, so maybe it was Esugo and Santos. But Esugo is also what Christian describes as an accident in waiting. He's also so rash. He's so rash. He's twice as rash as Caicedo. So he's also a red card in waiting. So
Yeah.
I think
Accident,
probably
accident waiting to happen. An accident waiting to happen, basically. And it is, but it is, but you know, that's a game when you play that DM. You know, not everybody can be Kante, elegant and have fantastic timing. Sometimes those DMs they do those rash challenges, and Caicedo always seems to get away without getting booked. But sometimes, you know, like that, when your luck has run out, then it's time for you to get sent off. But yeah, but we have, fortunately we are blessed having a lot of DMs. I said, you know, we've got that Santos is not bad. Reece James can play there. You got what's the face, that guy you just mentioned? What's his name? Isugo. So Chelsea has quite a lot of DMs. So it's he has opportunities to do different kind of tactics there. And Caicedo maybe needs a rest anyway. He's plays so many games. That guy, he did rest the game against what's it, Burnley. I think he didn't play that game there, but he put a monster game against Barcelona. So it's but he was just too. He was the manager. There was too much energy in him. You know, from the pep talk before the game, you've got to get stuck in. Do not give them a chance. And maybe that was one of it. It wasn't even necessary, that challenge there. So but it is what it is. We've got away with a draw, a very, very good draw. Normally, in many circumstances, I would say we actually dropped 2 points because we were the better team. But it is what it is. At least we didn't lose.
Yeah. I think that was I think that was great. Honestly, I'm taking this as a point gained. Looking at the team we were facing, if probably the boys don't give it their all, it could have been something worse. You know, there's also that side of Chelsea where you are one man down. It's the end of the first half. You are 2-0 down. You are coming in for the second half. Maybe you even get humiliated at home, and just imagine how unbearable Arsenal fans are. And then you concede like 4 goals or 5 goals at Stamford Bridge. You know, they will talk about it even in the next 6 seasons. That's how much Arsenal fans will talk about it. Yes. They are so unbearable. So in my opinion, that was a respectable result. I can't complain. I can't complain. I'll be like, I knew we could win that game, but no, this is now the problem sometimes we have as we get as fans. It's like we know very well that we can win that game, even the Old Trafford game. I knew even if Sanchez allowed Mbeumo to score that goal, we probably come back and win that game at Old Trafford. But the red cards are things that you can't predict in a game. You can even be certain you're going to win a Champions League final. You're even playing with under 18s and then you get a red card.
Where's Mr. Lingala? He's very quiet.
I'm listening the analysis of Tyron. So as Tyron said, I'm not disappointed for this game. 1 point against Arsenal, it's good. And you know, we can also have the same kind of game at Emirates Stadium. We can go there, playing them and trying to win. So for me, we can do that. I know this Arsenal today, as I said before, Arsenal will drop points. When he will be facing some teams, I know he dropped points against Sunderland. And he will drop points somewhere. He will drop points. We just to make sure we don't lose those games against low blocks. On Wednesday we are playing Leeds, and I think this time we are going to rotate because the same players had play a tough game against Barcelona today against Arsenal. I think next game we're gonna rotate, especially in midfield. We can see Andre Santos. We can those Gittens can play maybe Badiashile, but we have to win. Now we are playing every 3 days. We are playing on Wednesday and we play again on Saturday against Bournemouth. Bournemouth is not like Leeds. Leeds, I know we are going to win. I know every game is tough in Premier League, but Leeds we can win easily. But Bournemouth we must be prepared because those are also banana skin. Then after that, Bournemouth, you see, we have serious games because to be in the top 8 in Champions League table, we need now 6 points, and the coming game are Atalanta after Bournemouth, Atalanta, and the following game will be Paphos. I think that one it's okay. Before we finish next year with Napoli, but we need to rotate against Leeds. So to rest.
Who needs to be rotated?
Sorry, come again.
I think
which players need to be rotated.
I think Christian, with regards to the rotation of players, it all boils down to the press conference pre-game. You know, they can even pick logs.
Just in your opinion, which players need a rest for Leeds game, and which players need to come in?
James needs a rest. James needs a rest.
Fofana also needs a rest.
Cucurella needs a rest.
Yes.
What do you guys think about Cucurella?
I think even Estevao.
No, Estevao can start.
Yes.
Estevao can start. He just played for 30 minutes. I think he can start. Neto needs a rest. Yeah. Oh, Neto has played the Burnley game, the Barcelona game, and I know he needs a rest. I think that game should be where Palmer actually comes back to help the
and
team.
Because it's a low block, this is an opportunity for Palmer.
Yeah, I think Estevao, Gittens, Palmer, João Pedro. I think the player who's going to play in that midfield. I think the player who's going to play in that midfield together with Santos is now the player we have to actually look for, because we have to choose. Is it going to be Enzo Fernandez? Is it going to be Caicedo is not there, so it's Santos plus someone, or we'll have to assess Gusto. Did Gusto play the full 90 minutes against Barca? Because I saw him play today with
he got substituted. He got substituted. He had a yellow card. He got substituted. Remember, half time.
Yeah, and I also saw him today playing with his thigh actually getting strapped by, I think, the injury that he got in that Barcelona game. Maybe he played through injury. So either we start Gusto in that, or we play Achimpong as a midfielder with the.
Achimpong never get. What happened to him? He doesn't get a game anymore.
Oh, I think it's the way. I think. No, how can he start and Rhys James is there and Fofana and Chalobah are there?
He's a defender.
Yeah, he's a defender, but 3 defenders are starting ahead of him. Benoit is starting ahead of him. Chalobah is starting ahead of him, and Fofana is starting ahead of him. So one way that Chelsea can do it is that in that game, Chelsea can decide to play with a 4-3-3, then have Santos by himself with Palmer, and you just go ultra attacking Palmer and Bonanotte.
Bono who? I haven't seen him for a long time.
Oh, who's going to play next to because I'm also shocked. Cucurella has also played the Burnley game, the Barcelona game, this game.
All this is because now no one is trusting Atto.
Yeah, we
even
cannot
the
trust.
staff, no one is trusting Atto. That's why now
But
we are
I,
seeing.
but I was like,
Cucurella
we needed to sign a competent left back. That's something that we should have
Lewis Kelly.
prioritized.
You hear the noise about Lewis Kelly?
He's available.
Yes. Lewis Kelly wants to be playing regularly, but this times Arteta is playing Calafiori. So when I read it during the week, today I was surprised when I was watching the game on channel 3 of DSTV. Even the journalists spoke about that Lewis Kelly is linked up with Chelsea.
Okay, but anyway, we will just see. So now let's take this draw. Let's go and talk with a lot of
You know, I want now to hear about the pundits. I think tomorrow I will be online. I want to hear about the pundit, because for them they were like Arsenal is a top team, but now I want to hear their arguments how Arsenal was not capable to win against 10 men.
I really hoped that Chelsea would have kept a clean sheet. If we won that game with 10 men, they wouldn't have anything to say, because they cannot say Chelsea were lucky because we had a red card. But anyway, guys, I'm really tired myself. I just want to go and
Yeah. Right.
I know tomorrow is on Monday. Both of you are probably going to work, so I'm starting my off day tomorrow. So I need to think about what I'm going to do tomorrow.
He's going to make like 15 videos for YouTube. How analysis, match analysis.
You are in vacation?
No. I'm off tomorrow. It's my off day.
Okay.
Yeah. Just the way you are off on the weekends, or you go to work on Sunday.
No, I don't work on Sunday. I will start my vacation by 8th of December, and probably on 10th of December I will be in Kinshasa until the